along here. Just have to rearrange my screen a little bit. And 7:30, I'm getting into sponsors. How about that? I think I'm almost on time. All right. Glad everybody could make it tonight. Thanks for joining us. I always like to start out the evening and pay some homage to Gene Garino. And Gene was instrumental in the founding of the RAL Academy, RAL National Association, and introduced thousands of people to the model of residential style assisted living. Several of you that were in his class are here, and his motto was do good and do well. Unfortunately, we lost him back in 21, but his legacy lives on with his daughter, Isabel. And I always encourage people to join or visit the website, dollar.com. If you are in Colorado here, we've got several links that are going to be very helpful for you. Even outside of Colorado, some of these links are going to be helpful as well. But most importantly, if you are starting out here and you need to know the rules and regulations. So you go under that helpful links tab, and the very first link in there is the chapter 7. That date is wrong. Those are the new regulations we have that link to, and the chapter 2. So if you're in Colorado operating, you need to know these like the back of your hand. And we also encourage you to join our Facebook page, Denver ALR. This is our social networking. So we encourage participation in that. And of course, many of you signed up for tonight's meeting on our meetup, and we certainly appreciate that. I'm going to throw our meetup page into the chat, just so if you need a link to it, if you didn't sign up that way, then you can get in there that way. And we always appreciate feedback on our meetings. Hopefully we've earned 5 stars, but if we are lacking in something, please let us know. And let's see, am I going the wrong direction? Let's see. Next, I want to speak about my sponsors. So a little confused here looking at what I have here. All right, let's get into our sponsors. First, I'm going to start with Assisted Living Mansion. This is Brett Jackavis, and he's out of Texas. He's put together a really nice program for high-end 16-bed models. These are his mansions. Also on his website is a great collection of training videos, and most of these are geared toward experienced operators. So you can go to palm.university for information on that, or assistedlivingmansion.com. And then, of course, we have the RAL National Association. And this is a great place for you. If you own an assisted living, you should join this association. It's free. You do get a free newsletter out of it. They have group purchasing benefits, and these folks are advocates for you across the nation. So I always encourage you to join this and be a part of the group. I think they've got well over 10,000 members. I don't know offhand, but it's a pretty big number. So please join up. If you're just getting started in assisted living, then I encourage you to go through the RAL Academy. That's at ralacademy.com. We do have a link to that on our website. This is really the boot camp where you get started in assisted living. So it's a great place. They give you all the basic stuff. They have training, they have mentoring. So please, if you're getting started, check this out. And next we have Assisted Living Marketing. This is Peter Reset, and Peter is actually our presenter tonight. So Peter, would you like to say a few words about your marketing program?
I'll just say I'm looking forward to speaking to everybody tonight. We've been doing this for 15 plus years now, and love working with residential assisted living. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff tonight. So
awesome. Thank you, Peter. Next sponsor is Senior Care Administrator Coaching LLC. This is Janet Cornell. And Janet does a really interesting service that I think is important if you're in Colorado, where it's a mock survey, and she'll walk through your house and basically do the survey that the state would do. And you know, in Colorado, the state's cracking down on fines. So if you have a survey and deficiencies, it can cost thousands of dollars for those deficiencies. I don't know what Janet charges for her mock walkthrough. I don't think it's thousands of dollars though. So if she goes through your house, she can tell you everything that they're going to hit you with, and you can correct it. And then when the state comes through, you'll save that money. So you can look her up at scac-janet.com. She also does the administrator training through CALA, and she's probably one of the top administrator training because she not only tells you what you need to do to follow the rules, she also gives you advice on how to run a good business. So it's a little bit different in the aspect of that. So check out Janet, give her a call, and be sure to use her as your consultant. And next, one of my favorite groups, the Investment Community of the Rockies, known as ICOR, which is Colorado's only nationally recognized and award-winning real estate investors association, serving Denver Metro, Colorado Springs, Fort Collins, and Northern Colorado, as well as real estate and rental property investors across the state. I've been with these guys for, I don't know, 12 years, and it's a great group. If you're an investor, you want to be a part of ICOR, and their website is icorrockies.com. And next we have not only Colorado's assisted living lawyers, because they do work outside of Colorado, but PinkowskiLaw.com. They help developers and operators of assisted living and group homes locate and establish their facilities so they can focus on the business of caring for your people. They will act as your advocate or work with your local council, if you are out of Colorado, to encourage compliance with the Fair Housing Act provisions. They are experts in fair housing. So, you know, it doesn't matter what zoning says, doesn't matter what the HOAs say, fair housing is the ultimate decision maker. So if they're trying to stop you from doing something that fair housing would allow, they're in violation of federal law. So PinkowskiLaw.com, please reach out to them if you need any assistance with your legal. And next is one of my favorite groups, A Better Way Funding. This is us. We do lease options for group homes, and those leases have options to buy. So we let you build up the equity in the property as time goes on, and you can look up the program at ralleaseoptions.com. And we have ABW Capital Ventures, and this is our investment side of those lease options. We had a few deals there. One of them we canceled in Georgia. The other two are sold out now, but we are working on other deals. So if you are interested in investing in assisted living, you can reach out to us. Give me a call. My information's there, and I will put my info in the chat as well. And I'm doing a lot of promoting here. So, you know, here's my business brokerage page, Grand Avenue Business Brokers at A Better Way Realty, where I hang my license. I've got over 30 years of business experience. I've done over 80 assisted living transactions, valued at over $100 million. I'm a certified business intermediary and a certified senior housing investment professional level 2. And obviously I specialize in assisted living. I've been really, really busy lately. I don't think I should have to go through all these because it's going to get boring, but you can see we've closed a lot. We've got 6 under contract right now. And if you need help buying or selling your facility, then reach out to me and we will do what we can to make a deal. And last, we have the Colorado Assisted Living Association. And I don't think I have any active members here from the board, but let me just say that the Colorado Assisted Living Association is really your advocate for legislation here in Colorado. and they also do training. So you should go look them up. I think it's just Colorado Assisted Living Association.com. And if you are an owner here in Colorado, then you should join this group. Okay. Hey, look at that. I am like smack dab on time. You'd think I timed this thing, but I really didn't. So let me introduce to you Peter Brissett. And Peter has been my personal web guy for quite some time now. He manages, I don't know, 4 or 5 of our websites. I've been dealing with web guys for 25 plus years now, and Peter's been the most responsive guy that I've ever worked with. So I always recommend him to anybody that is looking to get a website built. I think he's done all of our businesses, which is, I don't know, what do we got, five sites out there now, Peter?
Uh, yeah, at least, yes.
Yeah.
I'd
All
have to
right.
look.
So with no further ado, Peter Brissett.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Great to talk to you guys tonight. We'll make this definitely interactive. So anytime you guys have any questions or things you want to interject with. And I sent a little note to Janet and Mark. I don't know if you guys saw that. On a couple of things I want to do, I wanted to just pick somebody's website, and I don't want to criticize it. By the way, I think your website looks awesome, but I wanted to kind of have something I could use as an example in some of the
Sure.
stuff we're going to look at. Good. Okay, good.
Yep.
I wanted to ask before I just started doing it.
Thank you.
All right. So I'll kind of show you. Yeah, I'll show you a list of things that we'll talk about. We'll cover some basic stuff. What I see is really important, and I'll show you a couple tools in terms of AI with ChatGPT in particular, and simple ways to generate some content and that kind of thing. So let me see here. Okay, looks like I got the screen shared. All right, so a couple of basics that I want to cover. When we're talking about creating content, especially written content for websites, uh, a lot has changed in how AI is, in the picture now. But what hasn't changed is the way that Google looks at that content. And Google has a thing called EAT, which is experience, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. So when it looks at any particular page of your website in determining the authority of that page, it's looking at, who's writing this? Do they have the experience? Do they have some expertise? Is there some authority? Do they have a credential or a degree or something behind that? And then ultimately, where's the trustworthiness? So what do other people say about this business or about this information? Is it trustworthy? So when we look at how we put together content, this still needs to be a big piece of that, uh, of how we look at it and examine that content and look at that content for um, for how it's going to do in terms of not just Google. I mean, this is what Google's looking for, but we have to remember about Google. Google's goal has been to provide the best information possible to the person searching. So we're not trying to make Google happy. We're ultimately trying to make the person who's searching happy with the information. So what is it that person really wants? And then can we frame that information with experience, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness so that it communicates well to that individual, that they can look at something on our website and go, okay, this rings true. This rings of authority, and it builds trust so that they're willing to take that next step with you. So at the end of the day, everything comes down to trust. How can we build trust in a moment for that brand new visitor to our website or to any of our content? And how quickly does that trust happen so that they're willing to engage more and ultimately willing to make a phone call, fill out a form, and take the next step with this. So just want to hit on that. We're going to talk about website a lot. So one thing I talk about with websites in all of our marketing that we look at. So there's owned media, there's earned media, and there's rented media. Owned media is the things you have full control of, like your website. So where should I spend my time and invest time and money? Um, the first place you can do that, and I recommend, is in what you own. Like you have control of the website, so make that everything it possibly can be for your business, because you have complete control of that. You can change the messaging, you can change the way it looks, you can add more content, uh, and nobody's telling you what you can and can't do there. So invest that there. Earned media is, publicity. If you're able to get publicity and that type of earned media, I kind of put reviews in that category as well. Getting reviews and testimonials as an element of that. And then we have our rented media, which is, Facebook. And even we're going to talk about Google Business Profile. This is rented space. These properties let us use these. Um, we can put a lot into them and do things with them, but ultimately they have control. They could shut off those channels to us if they wanted to, for whatever reason they decide and come up with. And that definitely does happen at times. So we want to make sure that our own media is the best that it can be, and ultimately is, building that list. Like, how many people do I have in my database? What does my database look like? I own the database. So if I'm doing various types of marketing, how do I move someone from a social media channel to actually be in my database? Someone that I can talk to and start to build a relationship with, and whether their family member is going to be a client, or they're going to be a good referral source for us in the future. So you own that. You own your branding, you own your messaging. Make the most of that. And then just a quick little tip that sometimes get gets missed, that definitely can help in terms of getting good local links to your website, that can help with visibility. One of those things is to, look at, what are some charities in your area that need a place for a donation center, such as a food bank, or some other type of local nonprofit that's near you, that is trying to collect, coats for the winter, or gifts for, um, Christmas holidays, or whatever. Like, find a couple charities that you can reach out to and say, we'll help you collect donations for whatever it is you're trying to do. All we ask is that you put a link on your website to our website, and we'll do that for you. Those links from nonprofit organizations are really powerful in the whole scheme of local search. Um, Another really good link is the Chamber of Commerce. So you join the Chamber of Commerce, they'll put you on their website, and most of the chambers have particular directory systems that are used pretty much all over the country, and they rank really well. Like, they do really well in search results. So it's just one other area that you have a chance to show up in a search, and get some kind of earned media as well, by having that as a referral source. So that's bonus, just for fun. No charge for that one. All right. So I'm debating where I want to go here first. All right, let's do something here. Let's go into the website and talk about AI and some ways that we can review the website, some things a website should have on it, things like that. So we've got our folks, Mark and Janet here. And I'm just going to pull this website over here. They got a beautiful website, lots of great content on their website. Uh, so let's look at a way that we can use AI to evaluate this website. So there's a couple ways to do this. Um, the first one I'm going to show you, there is a free tool out there that you can download. And it's a really weird name. But it's called Screaming Frog. And if you go to the website, you can download their, so they call it SEO Spider Tool. You can download this for free. And what it will do, here it is right here. All right, I'm going to grab their website. And we're going to do a scan here. Now, right now, this isn't using any AI. This is just going to tell me what's there right now in terms of pages. And it's going to give me the page titles and the page descriptions is what I'm looking for. All right, so we got about 17 pages. So I'm going to export this. For the page titles, and I'm going to export the descriptions as well. So it gives me all the page URLs and gives me the descriptions and how long those descriptions are. All right, so it downloaded those. So now we're going to go over to our AI here. We're going to start a new chat. So I use ChatGPT. Yeah, all of them are pretty good, you know, across the board in terms of what they do. But ChatGPT is my go-to. So I'm going to add those two files to this. They're downloading. Come on. All right, and I'm going to ask it here. Evaluate these um, sheets. Their SEO for meta titles and meta descriptions, and provide a summary and recommendations. All right, there it goes. Read them, and now it's thinking about it. So it gives us some observations, some recommendations on what we can do. Would you like me to go page by page and provide optimized titles? Yes, please provide page by page optimized SEO titles and Titles and descriptions. Move this over.
Peter, is this something you could send to us when we're all done? This is amazing.
Yeah. Happy to send it to you.
Thanks.
All right. So here it is. So it's written optimized titles. And again, you got to review it, make sure it's really looks, I mean, some of this is a little repetitive, not in love with it. But again, you got to look at it and evaluate it. Yeah, they did some stuff there, but I don't like that. Like that's not great. It could be better. But again, this is why you got to evaluate it and look at it. All right. So this kind of gives me a basis, but what I really like to do in terms of building out the content is to really take all the content that I have already and build out a custom GPT. So what's a custom GPT? So I will show you that. And I won't go through the whole process of creating one. It takes a little bit of time. Um, but you can come over here and create, and we can say we're going to, let's copy this. Let's see here. We're going to create a branding GPT for this website. And generally what I like to do with this is actually scrape every page content, copy and paste, and put all the content in there, not just, it'll pick up quite a bit just from putting the link to the website in. And then I want to customize it. So if you only do memory care, then you want to make sure that, any content, um, is focused on memory care assisted living. If you take Medicaid, then you want to talk about that. If you don't take Medicaid, you're only private pay. You want to make sure you never talk about Medicaid if you don't take Medicaid. Things like that. So you build all that into the GPT to help you in generating future content.
Peter, to scrape the website, do you have to do that manually, or will Screaming Frog do that for
I,
you?
I do it. I mean, it picks up quite a bit of it, but I do it because I want to make sure it has as much as possible in there. Um, in particular, what it doesn't always pick up is like the location. So if you have one location, but if it'd probably pick it up. But I want to make sure that I teach this to emphasize our locations. So one of the big things that make every one of us unique for our communities is where we are. Like your location is one of the most unique things about you. So you want to make sure in creating content that when you create content that you're emphasizing your location, where you are. And that needs to be a part of it. So um, I'm going to say, yes, this is fine. This isn't, it's just giving it you know, a little logo there. All right. Anyway, so you keep going through this, answering the questions, again, feeding it more content so that it's got that in there. So when I have a GPT, then I can come back and actually, let me go back. Oh, I lost it. So I'll pick, one of my clients. we have set up here. So I can come in here and go, uh, provide an idea for the next blog post. So it gives me an idea. And again, I look at in terms of ideas for blog posts and blog content is, where am I located? What are the neighborhoods in the area? So all the little neighborhoods have names in the area around you and in where your community is. So you should be writing blog posts throughout the year about those neighborhoods. What parks are in those neighborhoods? What activities are happening in those neighborhoods? What are events happening around me? What are fun things for families to do even in the area? So it's a broader range of content. It's not necessarily always talking about seniors, but it's content that search engines like. And they emphasize again, your location and where you are in your neighborhood. So we can say here, draft new blog post from this that is at least 1,000 words. I'm going to try to make it robust. So you can see, I've trained this. If it says Lodge at Palmer Point, it's doing Lodge at Palmer Point in Colorado Springs. So once you have it, it's a lot easier to build, a good quality blog post without having to do a whole lot of prompting once you've built that GPT. All right. In general, as well, in terms of what your website needs to have, it's a good idea to go back and review all the pages on your website, the content, and review that with AI. Is there a way to beef this up? And can I get better ideas from AI on what I should have on the pages? So part of what we look at with making a blog post friendly to the AI is how it writes this. It's got these, nice sections broken up. This makes a post not just easy to read, it makes it easy for the AI to consume that and pick that up. It likes the format of this. So if someone's not just doing a local search, they happen to put something into Chat GPT or something and they're, talking about assisted living near them, um, then that content you have on the website is going to be more AI friendly, and have a better chance of showing up in that search. Let's see. Oh, the other thing to mention here. So this is let's say we use this. The thing that you want to do as well, once you post this to the website. Oh, and the other thing this will do too. Create an image that is 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels with no words for this post. So that'll take a minute for it to do that. You want to do some linking to the homepage as well as to other key pages on the site. So, for instance, maybe we take the name here and we link this back to the homepage. And then maybe we pick another spot here. Here we got Palmer Parks. Again, I've, I've tried to build into this, talk about what's around the area. Maybe we link this to the assisted living services page or to the homepage. Uh, the gourmet meals, we link this to the page that talks about um, the meals that are provided. So we want to put two to three, maybe four links to between the homepage and other pages of the site from the post, because that helps emphasize to Google, what's the most important thing on the website. Well, I want someone to find a blog post. Ultimately, I want to funnel them to the homepage, and that internal linking helps Google know what's the most important pages on the website that will help them rank better inside of Google. All right, just trying to create an image. So again, it might create an image that you like, might not be something that you like, but when you're sometimes trying to find an image can be a challenge. All right, so the other thing, just in general, again with websites, having great images. If you can have video, we'll talk a little bit about video and how to make some videos as well. Uh, that those things are really um, those things really help the website convert. So if you've got a luxury residence, then have great pictures that show that off. Even if you don't, like the family members want to see, where's mom going to live? Like what is the place going to look like where she's at? So it's very much, it's like renting an apartment, or renting, even a home. It's like a real estate transaction. So the better images, the better videos that you can have on a website, the better chance you have of converting that visitor to a prospect, to a lead, by having that. So there you go. There's a nice little image. So pretty quickly, we've got new content that's pretty solid. You might have to clean it up, do some editing to it, and you're pretty much ready to go. All right. Questions about any of that, about websites in general? All right. So one of the advantages that we all of us have is that we have a physical location. We're brick and mortar locations. So while AI is definitely doing a lot to interrupt a lot of general search, uh, people are still using Google to find businesses near them. When I need to find a restaurant, I might look in ChatGPT for a little bit, but ultimately, if I'm out driving around, I'm on my phone, I'm using Google to find a someplace near me, and that still happens for assisted living as well. So what we want to do is make the most of our Google Business Profiles. So we're going to spend a little time on Google Business Profile. So this is um, this is a profile I have access to, not one of my clients. And there is a lot here that you want to update to make the most of in this profile. And so one of those is under services. So you can see here, there's just a few items that they have under services. So one of the things that we do for our clients, let me pull over this other one. Oops, come on. All right. So since we were looking at launch, so you can see here, we've broken down a long list of services here. And within this, we talk about where they're at. We have a call to action, and we list it there. So we're trying to make the most robust profile that we possibly can make. Um, Same thing with products. So while there's not a product that someone's purchasing, we're building out these products under residential assisted living Colorado Springs, a description and a link to the website with an image. So again, we're putting 15 to 20 products, 15 to 20 services that we list there. It's like, well, where does that show up? All that shows up in a search. So this side panel um, often will come up. And so you can see here, this is all additional content that Google wants to serve up uh, to people that are searching. It's got different categories. You got your Q&A, reviews. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And then you also have your posts. So you can set up these, your description and location, all that, your products and services. A lot of that's kind of a one-time setup. You might edit it once in a while. But then monthly, um, when you post that blog post to your website, come back over here to your Google Business profile, create a new post that links back to that. So you can see here all the different posts. And so um, provide a short description and a link back to the blog post that shows up on the Google Business profile. And then you do one step further. You take that image, whether it's an image that you actually took in your community, which a lot of times you're taking images, you post them on Facebook, grab a couple of those, come over here to Google, add those photos to Google as well. So this just shows that this is a very active profile. You're updating it on a regular basis. It's going to have a lot more information and content than your competitors. So Google is going to want to serve, again, the most relevant, most useful information to its users that it can. And the Google Business Profile is still the primary way that it does it when someone is doing a local intent, a local search that they're doing. You can also add videos here, and we'll talk about that. Any questions about the Google Business Profile? So the key here too is your reviews. Reviews absolutely drive uh, the search results, and so and it's hard. If you have an 8-bed or a 16-bed or a couple locations, it's not like a restaurant where you got a bunch of new customers every day. You kind of got the same customers month after month, so it's hard to get a large variety of reviews. So you just have to maximize it, get as many possible reviews as you can. The good thing is everybody struggles with getting reviews in assisted living. So, but the more you can get those, the better it's going to be. So the other thing I want to mention here that impacts this as well. So we talked about our one-time updates and then the monthly things there. There's at least a few other key sites, and these become important even for the AI search, because AI looks at these other sites with some authority for whatever reason they do. So, Yelp is not a great site in general that most people like or want to, you know, use, but it's it's a really important site in terms of search as it relates to um, uh, any of the audio devices. So if someone's on Alexa, uh, Alexa uses Yelp as part of its, finding local businesses. So you definitely want to look at that. The Is there a review app you recommend for facilitating getting reviews? I'll answer that in a moment. Uh, Bing, of course. The other one that I happen to know someone that works at the Better Business Bureau, and they had found this out. For whatever reason, the AIs look at the Better Business Bureau website with some authority. So you can set up a free profile on the Better Business Bureau website. You don't have to pay for one, you can get a free one. Um, and then there's quite a few of the assisted living websites out there. So you look at sites like caring.com. If you're in Colorado, the one I recommend, even just to get a free listing, is Seniors Blue Book, which is kind of a directory for all the assisted livings. There's similar things like that in other states. So if you can at least get a free listing in those are very helpful as well to help boost your showing up, not just in general searches, but also in the AI searches, because these AIs are looking to these other sites as providing some authority on your business. So you want to set those up. They're pretty easy. Just go there, put in your business information, add your logo, put a link to your website, your phone number, and get approved. The other one, as well, if you're not on, is getting set up on Apple Maps. So Apple Maps is a little bit new to the game. We used to not worry about it because no one was using Apple Maps, but Apple Maps has definitely grown. It's being used a lot more. So getting set up on Apple Maps for your location is an important one as well. All right, let's talk about a couple other things with images and videos. Oh, recommended review app. So we have one that we use for helping facilitate getting reviews. The main thing you have to do for the reviews is ask. So, at least grab that link from your Google profile. Um, if I'm in here, see right here, it says ask for reviews. And it gives you a nice short link and a QR code. Like, at the very least, like, be sending that out, put that at the bottom of your email. So it's always there. Have it in your community. You don't want to sign somewhere. Incentivize your caregivers that, if they get a positive comment from a family member, give them hey, if you can get them to give us a review, we'll give you a little bonus or something, whatever way you can to um, scrape, claw, beg to get more reviews. You got to do that. So, and then there's a number of tools out there that make it easy to pull those reviews into the website. And do that. And then we do have some review generation tools that we use as well. Let's see. Okay. Let's look at some image generation and some video ideas. All right. So one of the simplest video ideas that there is, if you don't have a lot of other video, but you have pictures of your community, within, and I'll just start this from the beginning here. within a tool like Canva, I can say, let's, start a new video, and I can just start dropping in, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the images that I have of my community. So here's one that we put together. It's just a handful of images. You put a little transition in between them. Um, you can drop in a little bit of music here. Do a little animation on the logo, and I'm just going to hit play. Oh, that's loud. So quick little video. You can download this, upload that to Google, upload this to Facebook, embed it on your website. Like, you can use this anywhere. Pretty simple idea. Just taking images. So if you've taken images of a birthday party, you've taken pictures of an outdoor gathering or something that you did for the community, drop those in, make a video slide for that. And the cool thing with Canva, I can come here and say, let's make this. Um, I want to change the size of this. Let's change this to. Uh, let's change this to an Instagram story. All right. So I'm gonna make a few adjustments. And go through there, do that to all those. And now you can download that as a video as well. That's, you know, uh, vertical video that you can use in Facebook Reels and um, Instagram stories, whatever you want to do there. All right. So the other thing you can do is also create content more at scale. So earlier in ChatGPT, let me find that chat. Go back over here. Oh, by the way, I also, to create all those descriptions and products for your Google Business Profile, I asked ChatGPT here, provide 15 descriptions for services for Google Business Profile that will include localized callouts and clear call to action. And so it wrote all that content for me for all the services. You can do the same thing for the products. Um, all right. So I wanted to create a number of different graphics, but each having unique text. So came in here on this particular one. Again, you could do this inside your GPT. So create a table of 10 items that can be used in social media to promote Lighthouse Assisted Living. It'll have 3 columns. First column will be a short, engaging headline. The second column will be more detailed paragraph about the headline. Third column will be a call to visit the website. So it generated this list, asked it to put it into a CSV file for me. And then over here in Canva, I had Canva create this using the Canva AI to create this graphic with 3 different things on it. So what I can do here is connect that CSV file. So it's broke it up in those 3 things. So I'm going to connect this. So here I can connect data. What a engaging headline, detailed caption, call to action. I'm going to hit continue. So, yep, I'm going to select all and generate 10 designs. Let's take a look. So there, created designs. I got way too much text in there for the size of the thing. So not the best example, guys. I should have made that smaller. So I go back and redo this based on the amount of content that I have. Fix that and do it again. But you can see it generated all those pieces of content. So how many could you do that with? As long as you make that list, you can general that. Yeah, Vern records these, Natalie, so you'll be able to come back and go through it um, and do that. All right, one other video tool I want to show you. So if you have Google Workspace as your email, one of the things that is available in your Google Drive is what's called Google Vids. And this is a really interesting tool, and they keep adding more things to it. And some stuff I haven't even got to experiment with. And today, when I was in there doing some stuff, they got some new things that I was like, oh, wow, pretty cool. So, what I like to create videos for, every good website should have frequently asked questions. And a lot of your blog posts should really be about questions and answers in terms of the content that you create. So um, what what we're doing some of is turning those FAQs into videos and making those. So you can have the FAQ there with the video, so they can either read the FAQ or they can watch the video. Plus, the video can be used in other places. Uh, so for that, we kind of use the storyboard. So here I'm going to say create a video that will be for a frequently asked question for assisted living. So it's a little generic to start with, but we're going to give it more specific information. So it creates a little outline for us. And let me see here if I can grab a all right. What is assisted living? Nope, we're going to change this. I'm going to take that one out. I'm going to take that out. And I'm going to grab the answer. So I'm going to break up this answer into a couple of things. So I'm going to put in here, all staff are trained. I'll take that out. And so it's giving me a lot of stuff here. And a lot of this stuff would be pretty solid. So we're going to take that out. We're going to make this a little bit shorter. It's a little too long. All right, we're going to go with that. So you can kind of pick a template. And we're going to create a draft video. And here you go. So this is all the text here, and it creates a voiceover. So someone's actually reading this. And if you want to change this, you can just click on any of this text and change the text, and then regenerate the voiceover, and it'll change the voiceover for it. So let's just start this, and let's go back to the beginning. Come on. So all these different elements can be changed. Yeah. I don't know if that lady's having a baby or something. I don't think we want that one. Did pretty good on that one. So again, all these little videos that generated those, you can replace it, record something, keep it, have it generate a new video. They've just added this thing for avatars. So you can actually have an avatar. Um, like that's brand new. Like within the last couple weeks, they just added that. This VO is pretty cool. So trying to make like a specific video, or sometimes I try to add a logo because we want to make a logo a little more animated. You can use this VO option and it will generate short individual little videos. Um, make a video of a caregiver helping a senior resident in assisted living. Let's see what it'll do. ticking away. All right. Questions, thoughts, ideas? Useful, not useful? What do you think?
Interesting tools. They keep coming out with more and more, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think it's all very interesting. I was hoping we can go back and rewatch it because I'm sure I probably missed half of it, of everything that you said, trying to write things down and follow along. So
Right. It
I'll
looks
go
so
back and
easy,
try it.
but no, we need to study it a little bit. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. I need to study
A
what
lot
you're
of it.
doing.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
The yeah, Vern's got a recording of it. Actually, he's got the you've got it in Otter as well. So, you know, when we post this, Vern, we can post it with a transcription too.
Oh, good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really helpful. I think this will be very helpful. Thanks, Peter. Oh, there's wow.
Oh, that's weird. She just put her legs inside the bed. That was weird.
Go back. I want to see that.
That was cool.
Oh,
Anyway, but that's not a bad for a first draft. I mean, it's pretty cool. So again, there's a lot of other tools out there, but you know, these are the ones that we're using. It creates quick, short little videos that didn't take very long to make. I can spend another 10, 15 minutes editing, making some changes, and then you download it and you've got, you know, a good video that you can put pretty much anywhere. You can drop your logo in here. It's all kind of drag and drop. You don't got to be a pro. Um, uh, Designer, you know, to do these things. Canva and these tools, you know, are very approachable to be able to do. And you know, all of these have tons of YouTube videos that go through and explain all this. Most of what I have showed you, I learned. I'm not most of it. Definitely on the video and using Canva. I'm not a graphic designer, guys, at all. I'm not even a programmer. Um, so most of the Canva stuff I know, I learned by watching videos on YouTube. So, and then just trying and
great.
experimenting and figuring it out. So it's a very easy application to use. So anyway, this is a lot of stuff that we do for clients, you know, getting this content together, building it out. Um, it's the kind of things that we're seeing that are being more consumed between AI. The Google Business Profile is more important than ever. Getting reviews in there, um, you know, all of that are, you know, is critical to being, you know, in the mix. Can I guarantee, you know, you're going to come up first in anything? I can't. There's so much competition in any given area. You know, some areas, um, you know, a client up in the Brighton area that's memory care. There's not much for memory care in Brighton. So not much competition for them. It's not too hard. I have a client that has a couple locations in Littleton. Have you guys driven through Littleton? Like there's an assisted living. They're like Starbucks in Littleton. Like they're on every corner. So I think there's more assisted livings than there are Starbucks in Littleton. I'm pretty sure. So, you know, there's so many different things that can play a factor in it. But even with that, you can at least carve out a little element, a little piece that you know, can work for your business to get some leads, get some business in the door, just because of how Google works and how Google Maps and the Google Business Profile operates. But you also have to do a lot of other things. You know, this is one element of all the elements you got to do to bring in some business. So anyway, questions, thoughts? It's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of work, guys. I mean, I'm exhausted. I don't know how you guys feel.
A lot to take in, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, want to talk more, you know, if it's something that you guys need help with, we're happy to help. You know, if you just want to have me look at anything for you and evaluate stuff, that's where we always start, you know, like, let's take a look and see what you have now, you know, what's working, what's not working, fill in the gaps, you know, and start with that. So,
All right.
all right,
Any
Vern.
questions from anybody? Either you completely understand it or you're completely overwhelmed.
We're
So,
overwhelmed.
so Peter, I have a
Yeah,
question.
a
Do you,
little bit overwhelmed in
Oh,
a
yeah.
good way.
Peter, do you use social media to tie in with all the website stuff, or do you focus strictly mainly on the website and you know, the GMB profile, etc.?
Yeah, our focus for what we do is between the website, the content, the Google Business Profile, and then for those that have the budget for it, Google Ads. That's kind of the next level element. You know, all the stuff that I talked about tonight to me is the basic. Like, this is kind of like must have basic, just to kind of be in the mix. And then the next step is, you know, can you, you know, afford some budget for Google Ads? So that's our space. The social media side, um, we have, you know, um, great relationships with folks that are social media managers. To me, it's a very different focus to actually be. I can post content. Like, if you give me an activity calendar, we could post your calendar activities. But that's, to me, that's not social media management. Like, actually managing your social media, creating engaging content, interacting with people, building your followers, maybe doing some ads even, you know, to build followers, things like that, has a whole other avenue that we just had to make a decision at some point. Let's just try to be as best as we can at this segment of it, and we'll pull in other folks that are really good with that social media side.
That kind of brings up a question for me, Peter, in your experience, even though you don't directly do the social media piece, I'm really glad Cindy asked the question.
Yeah.
From a budget standpoint, right, we're spending money on services like yours with the SEO and the
Yep.
website optimization, I'll call it. But you know, everyone has X pot of dollars, whatever that is.
Yes. Right.
And if you were to have a recommendation on apportioning it to, okay, let's say that the website is okay and you've got SEO and that's working okay, you've got the basics that you've been describing
Yeah.
tonight. If the next step is there money better spent on, say, Google Ads, which frankly is what we're doing now, we're spending a lot of money in Google Ads.
Sure.
And or maybe investing a similar amount of money into the social media side to get followers and Insta stuff, which I don't even know how to
Yeah.
use, but you know, those kind of things. That, or is that appeal to a younger audience that isn't our target audience anyway, right? We're after affluent daughter Judy, which is in the 45-65 range. Maybe
Yep.
they don't even care about Instagram and I don't know, you know,
They,
some, yeah, TikTok and some of these other things that I don't
yeah.
care
They
about
may
either.
not. Yeah, they may not care about Instagram or TikTok, but they're probably on Facebook.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but uh, again, what I think, not again, I haven't talked about this, but what I think you have to consider, at least as an element, in particular for Facebook, and it's either yourself, if you're in the community yourself, or having somebody else in the community, a caregiver, or if you have a quote unquote activities person. Again, sometimes you can't have that designated person in a small residential assisted living, but you know, or it's your administrator or something. You know, they're there every day with those seniors, and if you've got, you know, um, the pictures, you know, you have a release so that you can use the images of your residents in your marketing. Then, I mean, people love little old people. Like, why are we not taking pictures of their birthday parties and posting those on our Facebook page? Why are we not, you know, someone comes in to do a little activity and the seniors are batting around a balloon or whatever it is they're doing. Why are we not making little videos of this? Like,
Mhm.
people absolutely love seeing the seniors, doing
Yeah.
things. So, you've got the best content already. So it's just a matter of capturing it, figuring out how can I, do I got to pay a staff member? If I'm going to put money into it, pay a staff member a little extra to be the person that does that. That'll take pictures and take some videos of the stuff that you're doing every day and post that stuff on Facebook. That should be basic. Like, you should do that first. And then if you want to go and enhance and, build followers and do those things, to enhance that, sure. Then you can look at that. But I would be looking at what's my best asset that I have, and it's my little old people in my community.
Right.
Yep. All right, great. Thank you very much, Peter. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Pete, I'm sorry, not to put you on the spot, and you can,
Go ahead.
deflect this on here, but can you give us an idea roughly of what you considered your basic type package would be
Yeah.
roughly per month, to give us an idea of what we'd be looking at?
Yeah. For a lot of the stuff that I showed you today starts at 400 a month. Typically per location. Again, we kind of got to look at, how that's set up. Some locations are real right next to each other, so not a big difference, but it's definitely location based. So that's the basic, making sure the website's everything it needs to be, creating content for the website, managing the Google Business Profile, doing all those things. So, yeah,
How do you work? I'm sorry, I don't mean to monopolize on just a thing,
you're
but
fine.
if, because several of us, obviously, like I know Mark and Janet do too, we have other people that are doing certain things, like with your SEO and things like that. How do you kind of work hand in hand? Because do we have to drop them and they're doing stuff, like how does that work? Because only, like, really one person should be changing the GMB profile. There's different
Yeah.
changes that Google makes, changes on, the website. Do you kind of take it over and do the hosting itself? Like, if we have somebody that has our like our website, just to kind of give us parameters.
Yeah. That it, uh, I, I go in with no preconceived notion of what that absolutely has to be. But it definitely something that we evaluate first. Sometimes the website and all that is fine. And I'm like, I don't want to touch it. Like, it's good. And if it is, as long as, and we're happy to add content to the website. If you have a person that's hosting and managing the website, we can work with them too. We can go, here's the content, you can post it. Depends on whatever your relationship with them is. But, but again, that's all stuff we evaluate to go, hey, is everything all right? Is it functioning the way it needs to be? Are there any problems? And identify those. And a lot of times there's not. But a lot of times there is, which is part of the reason why someone's coming to me in the first place. Like, it's not working. And a lot of that's because the websites itself has got problems. So, but that's something we evaluate and look at. And, I don't want to do more work than is necessary. So if the website's in good shape and everything's working fine with it, then I would rather leave it alone than go and try to do something to change it, unless it needs it. And
Okay.
there's usually small enhancements.
Do you prefer email as your point of contact? I know you didn't give a phone
Yeah.
number. Is that your
Yeah,
preferred?
just shoot me an email and then we can get something on the books.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you bet. Okay. Natalie, it's late back east. Well, for you too, Cindy. You're both in Jersey.
Yeah, I hope you didn't catch me yawning too much.
Yeah, that's all
It's
right.
very engaging, but it's been a long day.
I'm with you.
All
right,
right,
Vern.
well, we'll wrap it up. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Peter. We do finish off the evening with any haves and wants. So if anybody has a have or a want, now is an opportunity to bring it to whoever's left here. All
Yeah, you had a
right.
lot of East Coasters and it's late here.
Yeah. it
10:50
is.
for
right.
us. Yeah. right.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us. We sure do.
Yeah,
appreciate
it was,
Yeah,
yeah. Great
Good to see you
presentation.
guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
you bet.
Thank you again, Peter.
You bet,
Nice
Vern.
job as always.
You got it.
All
Thank
right,
you.
well,
Have a
Thanks.
good
welcome
night.
back.
Good night,
See you
guys.
all next
Night.
month.
Take care. Bye.